how to do the second exercise of the lesson proportion. Now we'll begin with question number 2, children. Which of the following numbers are in continued proportion? You have to tell whether they are in continued proportion or not. Now first of all, if there are 3 numbers given, children, and you are asked to verify whether they are in continued proportion or not, always remember that for a proportion we need 4 numbers. And over here we only have 3 numbers. That means one number is missing. And that one number that is missing is always compensated with the middle term. So the middle term is taken as the second term also, and it is taken as the third term also. And then it is checked whether they are in proportion or not. Now see, 3:6 should be equal to 6:15. That means I have repeated the middle term and have given it 2 places, the second as well as the third. Now I am showing you 2 methods of checking whether they are in proportion or not. Remember, proportion means that it contains 2 ratios and the answer of the 2 ratios should come equal. So let's check. 3/6 and 6/15. I can reduce this. 3 1s are 3 and 3 2s are 6. Over here also I can reduce by 3. 3 2s are 6, children, and 3 5s are 50. Now my answer has come as 1/2 and 2/5. Now, as we see that we have come across different answers over here, both the answers are not matching with each other. That means these numbers are not in proportion. Now I'm showing you one more method of doing the same question. We know, children, product of the mean is equals to the product of the extremes. In that way, children, 6 into 6 should be equal to 3 into 15. 36 is not equal to 45. Both the numbers are different. That means these 3 numbers, that is 3, 6 and 15, are not in proportion. Let's do one more question of the same kind. We have to check 12, 18 and 27 are in continued proportion or not. So again 3 terms are there. So we are going to repeat the middle term. 12/18 and 18/27. Now when I reduce it, I can reduce it by 6. 6 2s are 12, 6 3s are 18, 9 2s are 18 and 9 3s are 27. Now both the sides I got the same answer. So that means yes, 12, 18 and 27 are in continued proportion. Now let's see the other method also. Product of the mean is equals to the product of extremes. So 18 into 18 is equals to 12 into 27, which is 324 on both the sides. Now I hope you have understood this, children. How are we going to write? 12:18 and proportion 18:27. Now have you understood? The product of the mean is this and extreme is this. So product of the mean is equals to the product of extreme. That is why we got this. So both the sides I got the same answer. That means yes, 12, 18 and 27 are in continued proportion. Question number 3, children. Find the mean proportion between 3 and 27. That means when they ask us to calculate the mean proportion, children, that means these are actually the numbers that are given as the extremes and the middle terms are missing. So you will have to suppose a variable over here. Let the mean proportion be A. I have taken that variable to be A. Now when I am going to write them into the proportion, I will write it 3:A, proportion A:27. Now we are going to make use of the formula, children. Product of the mean is equals to product of extremes. Now mean is A into A is equals to 3 into 27. A into A is A square and 3 into 27 is 81. Now remember one thing over here, children. Whenever there is a square value on one side, then in order to get one term out of that, A square means A into A. We just need the value of 1A. So what will we do? That square, when it goes on the other side, it goes as under root. And when you solve under root 81, the answer comes out to be 9. Later on in this video, I am going to teach you how to take out the square root also if you don't know how to calculate this. Keep watching till the end. Now of the same question, I have taken one more subpart, that is the second one. you have to find a mean proportion between 0.06 and 0.96. I had taken this one because this was a decimal term. I thought maybe you might have some problem while solving it. So I'm telling you how to go about it. Once again, we will have to suppose some value to be the mean proportion, children. So I've taken this time B. You can take any variable of your choice. Let the mean proportion be B. 0.06 is to B, proportion B is to 0.96. We have to take the mean proportion, so here it is. B into B, that is again the same formula, product of mean is equals to the product of extremes. So B into B is equals to 0.06 into 0.96. Now B into B is B square, children, and over here I have removed the decimal. 0.06, when you remove the decimal, children, we write it upon 1, and as many places as you are shifting your decimal, that many zeros we put. I shifted my decimal 2 places, 1 and 2. So I have added 2 zeros. Similarly, I have removed the decimal from here. I have shifted it to 2 places. So I have added 2 zeros. And if a decimal is taken after the number, children, it has no value then. So now my numbers were 6 into 96 upon 100 into 100. So when you multiply 6 and 96, the answer is 576. Upon 100 into 100 is 10,000. So B square is equals to this big number. Now how are we going to solve it? Let's see further. Are you scared how we are going to solve this and what is all this big things, children? Don't be scared. It is not difficult. It's very easy. B square was this side, children. In order to remove the square, we had to bring it in under root. So under root, whenever there is a fraction, the under root comes for both the numerator and the denominator. So under root 576 upon 10,000. Now over here I have simplified and I have shown you how to do the under root also. Maybe you don't know, or maybe it is just a revision for you. So first we begin with 576, children. We start with the number which is the smallest that can divide this. This is in a way that you solve the LCM, that method only. So with 2 I can divide 576, it goes 288 times. Again with 2, 144 times. Again with 2, 72. Again with 2, 36. With 2, 18 times. With 2, 18 can be divided 9 times. Now when it is divided 9 times, it cannot be divided by 2 because then it will leave a remainder and we don't want a remainder. So you divide by the next number, that is 3. So 3 3s are 9 and 3 1s are 3. So finally when you get to 1, you will stop dividing it, children. Then what will we do? We will start forming the pairs. 2 pairs. 1 more pair, 1 more pair and 1 more pair. And out of the pair we take one number out. So they are in this pair, it is a pair of 2, so I have taken 2 out. This is again a pair of 2, I have taken a 2 out. Again a 2 pair, I have taken 2, and this is a pair of 3, I have taken 3 out. And now multiply all these numbers together. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 3s are 24. So 24 is the under root of 576. That means if I multiply a 24 by a 24, children, I will get the answer as 576. Try it out. Second, I am telling you 10,000. Again, start with the smallest number. So with 2 we start. With 2 when you divide, you get 5,000. Again with 2 you get 2,500. Again with 2 you get 1,250. Now 1,250. Okay, again with 2, 625. Then with 5 you begin. Okay, you keep dividing it till the time we come across 1. Then again do the pairing. I have done the pairs like this. And then one number of the pair we take out. So 2 2s are 4, 4 5s are 20 and 25s are 100. So the answer is 100. Right? So we have taken out the under root for both the numbers, 24 upon 100. And when you remove these 2 zeros, children, the places decimal can be put after 2 places over here. So I have taken my number as 0.24. And that's the answer. Question number 4 is find the third proportion to. Now actually they say find the third proportion, but we are going to find the fourth proportion because there are only 2 numbers. So what will you do, children? The second number is being repeated and the third proportion means at the fourth term you are going to use a variable. So let the third proportion be y, and now how will I write? See this carefully. 5.25 is to 7. proportion 7 is to y. So this number which is written at fourth place is actually the third proportion. Now again the product of the extremes is equals to the product of the means. So that is what I have written. 5.25 into y is equals to 7 into 7. Y is equals to, take this on the other side, I have taken it. Now in order to remove the decimal, children, I have added 100 over here. And then when you start reducing it, children, right, when you start reducing it, it could be reduced by 25 first. So 25 4s are 25 2s are 50, and this is 1. Now 7 1s are and 7 3s are. 7 4s are 28 upon 3. And when you change this improper fraction into the mixed fraction, it comes as 9 whole 1 upon 3, and that's the answer. Okay children, let's see the fifth question. The ratio between 7 and 5 is same as the ratio between rupees X and rupees 20.50. That is 20 rupees 50 paisa. Find the value of X. So let's put them into proportion. 7 is to 5 is equals to X is to 20.50. Now product of the means is equals to product of extremes. So 5 into X is equals to 7 into 20.50. Now 5 will be removed from this side, will be taken on the other side. So it comes in division, children. I want to remove my decimal, so I will add a 0, 100 over here with zeros, 2 zeros, because 2 places decimal is shifting, so 2 zeros. Now start reducing. This is what we get. And now start reducing. I can cancel the zeros like this. Then I can take it as, with 5 I can reduce it. So 5 1s are 5, 5 4 and 1. Now nothing will get reduced. So 7 into 41 upon 10, children. I want to remove this 10, so it will be, the decimal will come over here, so 7 into 4.1, and my answer is 28.7. Coming to the sixth question, children, if 4x plus 3y ratio 3x plus 5y is equals to 6 is to 7, find x is to y. Now this time a bigger term, the algebraic terms have been given that are equal to this ratio, and you have to calculate the value of x is to y. So how to go about it? Let's see. Okay, so this is how we can write them together in a form of a proportion, children. Again the same formula. According to that, this is the mean and this is the extreme. So product of the mean and product of the extreme. Now, whenever we are multiplying the algebraic term with a number, this number will get multiplied by both the terms that are there inside. This is what you have learned in algebra. So that is to be followed. 6 3s are 18x, plus is plus, 6 5s are 30y. This side, children, 7 4s are 28x, plus 7 3s are 21y. Now, x's have to be brought on one side and y has to be taken on the other side. Now this value of y was bigger, so I have brought the smaller y this side. 30y minus 21y. And I have taken my x on the other side, 28x, and this one plus goes on the other side as minus 18x. Now plus minus is minus, so 9y, again plus minus is minus, so 10x. Now over here, one thing you have to keep in mind, children, the value of x will be this. X is equals to this. So the value of x is 9 and the value of y is 10. So x is to 10 will be written as 9 is to 10. Make sure that you keep this thing in mind. Otherwise your answer will go wrong. Of the same question, I have taken the second subpart also, children. Find x if y is equals to 10. Now first putting the value of y in the algebraic terms that were given, 4x plus 3y. So 4x will remain like that, and in place of y you will write 10. So this is 3 into 10 will be 4x plus 30. Similarly, the second algebraic term will be 3x plus 5y. So 3x plus 5 into 10. So 3x plus 50. Now this is after we have kept the value of y. Now put them into proportion. 4x plus 30 ratio 3x plus 50 is equals to 6 is to x. Now the product of the mean is equals to the product of the extremes. That formula you will have to use, children, further. So now solving it further, 3x plus 50 into 6 is equals to 4x plus 30 into 7. Again, the number will be multiplied by both the terms inside the bracket. Okay, keep that in mind. That is the basics of maths and algebra. Now 6 into 3x will be 6 3s are 18x plus 15 to 6 is 300 is equals to 7 4s are 28x plus 210. Now bring x's on one side and the numbers on the other side. So 300 is plus, so I bring 210. Now this is plus 210 comes on the other side as minus 210. 28x and this plus 18x goes on the other side as minus 18x. So 90 is equals to 10x. Now again we have to calculate the value of x over here. So 10 will be taken on the other side. So x is equals to 90 upon 10. Zeros can be cancelled. So x is equals to 9. 9 upon 1 means 9 only, children. If the denominator has 1, we do not need to write it. So this is how you do question number 6. Let's look at question number 7, children. Now question number 7 is, if 2y plus 5x upon 3y minus 5x is equals to 2 whole 1 upon 2, find x is to y and then find x if y is equals to 70 and so on. So first thing is we need to know how to solve this. The method of solution will remain exactly what we have seen in question number 6. But I'm showing you how to go about with this particular question. So first of all, we have written the question, children. Then the second step is we are going to solve this mixed fraction into the improper fraction. So 2 2s are 4 plus 1 5 upon 2. So on both the side of is equals to we have a fraction now. Now children, this arrow over here is what we make in cross multiplication, because we are cross multiplying a numerator by a different denominator. A numerator by a different denominator, that is cross multiplication. So that is what we have done. Multiply now, children, same method. 2 2s are 4y, plus plus is plus, 5 2s are 10x, plus plus is plus, 5 3s are 15y, plus minus is minus, 5 5s are 25x. Now bring x's on one side and the y's on one side. So plus 10x and minus 25 comes on the other side as plus 25x. 15y plus 4y goes on the other side as minus 4y. And now plus plus is plus, so 35x, plus minus is minus, so 11y. Now again the same thing, children. X is to y means the value of x is 11 and the value of y is 35. So x is to y is written as 11 is to 35. So with this we complete your second exercise of the lesson proportion.